Hello. Sorry I'm a little bit late tonight. Connecting with you. Apologies. Michelle, our Price, a light worker, here to do some beautiful connections. Scott is watching. Hello on my page. Nice to see everyone. Oops, let me just turn the volume down. That's not going to sound much good, is it? You might be hearing me twice. Thank you so much for waiting. Ooh. Wow, that's exciting. Kitty, you've just caught my attention. Now, I am having a look at who's posting and just seeing who I need to come to. Man of my dreams. That is cool, Kitty. I'm just going to have a look at that man of your dreams and see what is going on there. Now, I do oracle card readings. Hello, Catherine. Hello. I do oracle card readings. I'm also a medium, so I connect to past over loved ones. I do a lot of health, business, career, whatever you need. Relationships, of course. I've got a relationship person here I'm just going to have a look at. Sarah Kay, you've just got my attention, Sarah. Let me know if you would like anything in particular, Sarah or Sarah. Okay, let me know if there's anything in particular you would like. I'm just writing down a bunch of different names at the moment. So, hello Belinda. Belinda just visited on the weekend. I got to meet Belinda. That was fabulous. So, yes, anything that you need, please let me know. It's good to be specific. Otherwise, I'll just do a general, what's called a general read, and see what pops out. So, Emily, I like your energy as well. It's not that I like some people's energy and don't like others. It's all fabulous, but I just am quite drawn to Emily. So I'll do general for Sarah and Emily unless you specify. Kitty, I'm going to look at Man of My Dreams for her. So I'm just going to have a look at. This is actually my first ever deck that I got, which is pretty amazing. It's in pretty good nick, to be honest. Really beautiful images, and I do tend to use this for relationships. So I'm going to use that one. I do have another deck that I use, but I feel like this one's good for the Man of My Dreams. Kitty, sounds exciting. So hello everyone who's tuning in and watching on this Monday. We're still in school holidays at the moment, so a little bit going on, I'm sure, with everyone with the kids at home and that sort of thing. So let me grab my lavender oil. Just having a look at your comments as they pop up. Anything? Oh, love. Was it love? Okay. So I've just put a note next to your name, love. So we'll have a look at that. So a few love requests tonight. Beautiful. Thank you, Phyllis. Yeah, it's a very old deck. I'm 44, and this is the first deck that I ever got. Kerry, you've just drawn my attention, hun. You've just drawn my attention. Kerry, mum's birthday. She passed last June. Kerry, you've drawn my attention. So I'm going to pop you on my page here. Kerry Page, mum. So we'll have a look at mum, and it would have been her birthday. Beautiful. That's good timing, isn't it? Nan steps forward. I'd love a reading. Ainsley Walker. Now, I'm just writing down some of the mediumship people, and I am limited with how much mediumship I can do because it does take a little bit of time to connect. So I've written down Kerry and Ainsley. I've also written down Kathy, Sarah, and Emily. So I've got a few people. There's a few people watching on my page as well. Leanne, Love Life. Another Love Life. Wow, there's been a lot of Love Life questions. Angela, who's watching on Michelle, our Price, the Light Worker. Happy to do mediumship. Just let me know specifically who you want to talk to because we are in a sort of a 1 hour time limit here. Angela McCrone, I think it is. Angela, you're on my list. So if I mention your name, then please stick around because I like to get feedback and that sort of thing. And I'll just say general because we've just asked for a card. So Angela, I've got a card. Sorry, when I read love, I thought it was relationships. Thought it was relationships, but it was a started love a card. Now, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. I'm going to get underway. So I am clairvoyant. I do close my eyes when I'm doing my readings. There is a link also if you want to connect with me one-on-one in this post, and you're more than welcome to do that. And there's a little function on my page called Book Now, and that will show my availability if you feel to book any readings or anything like that. Kitty, just going to come to you, Man of My Dreams. Let's see what we need to know with your Man of Your Dreams, Kitty. Let me just connect in. Whoa, connect into your energy. Now, you will see cards flying out. I do look at cards if they're face up. If they're face down, I put them back in the deck. That's my intention. That's how I read. So you will see cards flying out, but if they're face down, then I put them back in the deck. So Kitty, just going to come to you, love. Now, Kitty, I do feel in my solar plexus at the moment, and that is around, power control, that sort of thing. I don't feel anxious or anything like that. It just feels kind of activated for me, which is the yang energy, which is the doing. Yeah. Look, I do feel soul. I do feel soul, you know, connection. It feels at that level. So soul with this person. Yeah. Everything in my body is feeling pretty good, pretty activated. I'm drawn to that, you know, solar plexus, the yang, whether the energy with this person is switching that on in you, but I'm quite drawn to that yang center, the solar plexus. So let me draw some cards. Let's see if we can get some clarity. I was just double checking with my eyes to make sure I turn my volume on, because sometimes I forget to do that. I'm off with the fairies a lot of the time, doing my readings. All right, so Kitty, let's see what we've got. Like a little bug on the table. Okay, so Goddess of Away. Oh, yeah, this. Oh, here we are. This is it, love. This is it, Kitty. Very, very good news. Now, this is the God of Awakening, and this is in the relationship. So, a time of exploration, romance and creativity. That's passed into now. That's what we're coming into. So see the sun there? For me, the sun, and it's got a little star in the center. It's very bright. That light represents, you know, a bit of an awakening, but also it's kind of the solar plexus for me. Looking at that, the big gold light, ball of light. Sometimes I refer to that as your own sun. So definitely an awakening happening past into now. In the present, just notice that vision. That can be people around you, you know, if they're talking the relationship down or something like that. But it's about someone not revealing the true story and you being able to kind of see through that. So not just suggesting it's anything to do with this person, but just notice if people are sort of talking down about the relationship or anything like that. Make sure you're listening to your own intuition, because you know the truth, and that is vision. Seeing intuition is vision. Now, looking forward, it's that, and that's why I'm really happy. So that's blessed and destined for success, the partnership between the two of you. Now, bottom of the deck is a little bit around belief in that. So the only thing that you need to work through is belief in this. And this is a little around self-esteem, how I feel about myself. But that's a little affirmation that I certainly used, you know, back in the day when I was looking for a partner, a life partner. Everything is perfect as it is. Nothing about me needs to be fixed or changed. So have a think about that. Notice how the heart space is highlighted there with the butterfly. So heart space is quite illuminated there as well. It's a little bit more healing, but I feel like this is a great, really good relationship. Blessed and destined for success. Put it that way. Kitty, that's fabulous. Thank you. And yeah, I'm so happy for you, love. So happy. All right, Sarah Kay, love. Sarah Kay's after love. I think I accidentally squashed that little bug. I'm very, very sorry. I don't like to kill things, but here we are. Sarah Kay, just going to come to you. I'm just going to have a look at love. Now, this is a different deck. So I'm just going to have a look through that. This is my relationship deck. This is Debbie Malone, her cards. Now, if you are just tuning in, I am clairvoyant, so I do shut my eyes. If you want to connect with me, maybe wait till I have my eyes open and then you can let me know what you need. So I tend to recommend that people just copy and paste, you know, their comments. Becca, hi. Becca's beautiful. She's fabulous, fabulous lady. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate everyone watching. Kitty, I'm glad that makes sense, huh? A little bit more work to be done there, but that's great. Very much on track. Very much on track. I've just seen Kurt's comment. I'm not sure Mary and I. There's a date of birth there, Kurt. Okay, that might be your date of birth. I'm not sure about what that is, Mary and I. So I'm guessing Mary's a partner or something. But yeah, if you can give me some more specifics, I'm not quite sure what that is. What can you see about the man I'm talking to at the moment? Yvette, yes, this is fun. Lots of relationship inquiries. Yvette, I've just popped you on my list. So the man I'm talking about at the moment, talking to, I should say. Man talking to. Okay. So yeah, as I said, if I haven't been drawn to you, don't stress. Just, you know, copy and share, because I just am drawn to whoever I'm drawn to in that moment. And then I will come back to you if I am particularly drawn. All right, so let's come to Sarah Kay. Going to have a look at love for Sarah Kay. Sarah, just going to come into your energy for a second, just see what I need to know there. Sarah, I definitely feel like I'm sort of open to, is what I want to say, open to. Love, opening myself up a little bit more. I feel like this has been a progressive thing for you though, opening myself up a little bit more, trusting more, that sort of thing. So progressive, working on that. And I feel like that's good. You're doing the work, you're doing the job. It'll be interesting to see what cards pop up for you, because one of the things I feel like is a little bit of more releasing. So sometimes I get that color balloons, where it's a little bit more of releasing negative emotions, things that are holding me back, that sort of thing, to allow myself to almost soar, like almost take off. But I feel like there could be a little bit more releasing, but I feel like you're doing a really good job. Really, oh my God, how's that? How's that? All right, the show's over. Good night. Look at that. How amazing is that? Number one, that's your balloons. So thank you, Spirit. That's amazing. So that's what I was seeing. And that is, holding on to the love, the happiness, the joy, and letting go of the worry, the stress, the other things. There's a little bit of that happening that's passed into now. So it's acknowledgement you're doing the work. Yeah. So I'm really proud of you, Sarah. In the present, it's a bit of focus on this. What am I doing? What could I be doing? Life purpose, stuff like that. So a little bit of a focus on that in the moment. It's not just love, but it's about that. So letting go of what no longer serves us, stress, worry, all those things that could come with a career change or a shift in career. Clairvoyance is seeing. So seeing what's coming. That can be creating the image of that person that you want, the vision, being really clear about what you want, bringing them in. So manifesting essentially. Now, detox is sort of tying back in with that. So detox is getting rid of the things that don't serve you. So whether that's, unhealthy foods, any kind of alcohol, smoking, any of those sorts of things, sobering up, but getting rid of, any of those things that are holding us back, lowering vibrations, essentially. So these cards are very similar. They go very well in alignment together. But the balloons is amazing. How good, Spirit. Incredible. But at the moment, let's have a look at that as well. What can we do? What can we change here? And then it feels like seeing what's coming in relationship-wise. Love, Sarah, love, you're doing the work, and yeah, I'm grateful for those balloons. That's amazing. All right, Emily, that was general for Emily, I believe. Let me come to psychic reading, hey? No. We're doing fairies for Emily. Now, if there's anything that you need, please be specific if you like. It does help me out a little bit if you want to ask questions. You don't have to. But yes, if you are up to mediumship, then yeah, let me know who you would like to come through. More than happy to look at that, but I need you to let me know who you'd like to connect with, because we've only got an hour together and I'm running a little bit late tonight. So I can see Mandy and Lisa are asking for mediumship. Mandy and Lisa, if you're able to be specific about who you want to connect with, that will be amazing. Becca, mind blown. Kitty, yay, Sarah. Just scrolling back up to make sure I haven't missed anyone. Chloe, relationship or health. Chloe Jarman, I'm going to come to you. I've got some people written down for mediumship. Chloe Jarman, relationship and health. I'll see which one I'm drawn to, Chloe, when I get to that point, relationship or health. But I do feel like you need some guidance there, so I'm going to come to you, hon. Carly, hello, Jules. Oh, yeah, Jules, yes. Jules is after a child card, my children's deck. Jules, little man, very upset, not himself. Upset, not himself. So, Jules, hang on, little man. All right. So I'll do the kids' cards. I'm just going to highlight because then I'll remember as soon as I come there what I'm doing. So children's cards are there, and then I'll use pink for mediumship. So, yes, and if you're after mediumship or anything like that, just be specific, then we can jump in there and check and connect. Emily. I'm using fairies for Emily. So it's usually a connection to the elementals for me, in the garden, nature, fairies, butterflies, all that sort of stuff. So really, really good energy around you. Emily, let me just come in there and see what I need to know. I've got a lot of decks sitting on the table at the moment. Emily, let me just have a look in there. What do I need to know about Emily? Whoops. Emily, I feel like with you, it's about sort of celebrating my achievements, and I almost feel like this is sort of moving forward. I feel like giving myself a pat on the back, but it feels like moving forward. It doesn't feel like I'm celebrating what's come. It's like celebrating what's coming, and achievements, yeah? So I feel like a real awareness around that, marking it off, ticking it off. It feels like goals to me. So goals, reaching it, and then being really proud of that. Goals, reaching it, being really proud of that. I feel like it's a completion, so it's actually completing what I want to do. So rather than sort of starting and not finishing, I feel like being really proud of, the milestones, the achievements. It feels like all of that for you at the moment. All right, let's see what comes out. These are the fairies that I've got at the moment. Then I'm going to have a look at Angela and Yvette, I think it was. And then I'm doing some mediumship. And then I'm going to come to the kids' cards after that. So if I've mentioned your name, please hang around because I like you to watch and also give me feedback and make sure that I'm on the right track. I like that one so much. There we go. All right, so Emily, I'm just going to see. Ooh, interesting. Ooh, these are really good, really good. Connecting with nature is passed into now. That can be being a little bit more present, aware, noticing signs, but also that's the elemental. So you know how I was saying before, you got quite elemental energy about you. That's growing up and just being out in the garden, butterflies, birds, bees, fascinating. You know, ants, everything. That's me as well. So very elemental energy with you. Now in the present, this is upside down, but it's debt paid off, and it's upside down because it shows there's not a super amount of trust there. So we do have to work on that. So that's knowing that we're not in lack, knowing that we always have enough. But it does feel like an unknown amount of money coming in. So a bit of a windfall, something like that. But there's a little bit of trust like that. So work on receiving with you. So being willing to receive, open to receiving whatever this is, because there's a little bit of lack of trust around that coming in. Spring is your desires manifesting. So when the flowers are blooming, we've come out of spring, that was September to November, but desires manifesting about a year from now, less than a year from now, towards the end of this year. So September, October, November, desires manifesting. And we're doing some emotional healing as well. So healing at all levels. Now on that one you can see she's sort of highlighting the heart space, but all the chakras are there. But she's sort of holding her hands around heart space. So emotional healing. Probably taking in heart, you know, more so. But you definitely got elemental energy about you, which is creative. And also we can use the elementals, which is the fairies, to help us with material possessions and money. So I feel like working with the fairies for you, really working with the fairies, asking them, you know, if you pick up rubbish and things like that for the fairies, I love it. So if you ask for assistance, you know, make sure you do a few little nice things for the fairies as well. Emily, yeah, fabulous energy, lovely, fabulous. Angela McCrone was after general, I think, unless Angela had anything specific. I didn't see anything. Mandy Pickering, I've seen you. You're on my page, Mandy Pickering. Now, Michelle R. Price, a Lightworker, is my business name. If you want to click on the link, you can like my page if you like. I do group joint live readings on my page as well. So we do have one coming up at the end of the week on Friday. People love this, where it's myself and two other mediums or card readers, and we get on and do joint readings. So Mandy Pickering, I'm just putting you down, husband's best friend or my grandmother. Husband's best friend or grandma. So I'm just putting Mandy down on my list. But yeah, if you like my page, and then I've got a joint, a private group, then you can jump in there and actually watch the joint live readings that we do. We've got static card draws we do there as well. So Michelle R. Price, the Lightworker, and the link is in this post to the video. And that's where you can also book readings. So I've got a book now function. If you want to book a one-on-one reading, I do reading healing combos, which are very popular. And that's an hour and a half. I just got an imposter. I've got an imposter in my deck. Putting that back over with the fairies. All right. So, Angela, and I am just looking at your comments. Wow. Like a reading on my marriage. A lot of cards. Sue, hi, Becca. All right. So just going to try to scroll all the way down to the bottom. My daughter in spirit is Kimberly, would love some mediumship. Tracy Thompson, I'm putting you in my list. Tracy Thompson. And so daughter in spirit, Kimberly. Beautiful. All right, so I've got quite a few mediumship inquiries, so I'll probably leave mediumship there. But if you guys want anything else, health, relationships, family, you know, career, any of those sorts of things, you don't have to give specifics. And if you've got kids watching, let me know, because I've got some kid cards here, and they are really, really fun. So okay, thank you. What was I asking? Someone was going to end up obviously more work when yeah, I know, it's always work, isn't it, hun? Sarah, you're actually doing really good work though, love. It is a little bit more letting go though. So you know, it's not the end of the world, but there is something around work as well that we may have to let go of as well. Okay, so Elsie, hello. Elsie's back from holidays. I hope you had a beautiful holiday, Elsie. Okay, Angela, just going to come to you for general. So let me just see what I'm doing. Life purpose, I don't know. Angela, actually maybe I need to do life purpose. I'm going to go with it. It's my intuition. So I'm going to do life purpose for Angela. So let's just see what pops out there, Angela. She wasn't asking about life purpose, but we will see. There's a reason I've got these cards. Angela, what I want to say to you is similar to what I was saying to another lady earlier is go for gold, go for gold. I feel like this is extending myself. These are the life purpose cards I've got at the moment. It actually feels like extending myself further, pushing myself further out of my comfort zone. So it's like, it's amazing what the human body can do. Every time I see a record broken, you know, in athletics or whatever it is, it's like, oh, you know, we never thought that was possible. And I feel like I want to extend myself further, push myself out of my comfort zone, go for gold is what I want to say. Now, these are life purpose. I'm just going to draw 3 cards and see what that's telling me. Hopefully we are on track. Yeah, that feels good. All right, let's have a look. This is for Angela. Beautiful. Ooh, we're a bit talented here, Angela. Body work, lovely, is anything to do with body. So it can be energy work. It's also, you know, massage, you know, acupuncture, the physical, anything to do with the body. There can be energy, which isn't necessarily physical. You're manipulating energy, that sort of thing. But something about that's passed into now. So there's an interest there or an ability. So there will be healing, usually abilities, but it can be massage as well. And you don't have to incorporate, you know, energy work into that, but massage comes under that as well, body work. In the present, it's freedom, which means you can do whatever on earth you want. Hooray. You know, some of us have an understanding of that, others don't. But it does feel like my own thing, doing my own thing, not necessarily undertaking direction from anyone else. So have a think about that in the present. Now, moving forward, music plays a huge role. So that can be really supportive. It can also be working in that industry. But for me, this feels like frequency and kind of vibration. Also feels a little like sound healing. So have a think about that, you know, moving forward. There is the body work here, but also whether we can incorporate, you know, that into my own life, doing some sound healing, seeing what that feels like. But frequency and vibration feels really good for you. And it feels like awakening, you know, some abilities, spiritual abilities, stuff like that, moving forward. Bottom of the deck is support, and that means your life purpose fully supports you, which means, you know, sometimes we feel like, oh gosh, transitioning out of like a proper job into something that I do, which is a light worker, it can be really scary. But just know that you are fully supported by spirit. So spirit's supporting you in transition or expanding on what you're already doing. Body work is past into now, so that would indicate that we've already started doing something along those lines, which is really awesome. So Angela, hopefully that makes sense. Yvette, Gobby, man I'm talking to. What is going on with this man that we're talking to now? I'm going to use my first deck, the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses, the one I had earlier, Tony Carmine Soleno. My first ever deck, amazing, very, very old. Oh, yay, sorry, yes. Yes, I've just seen your name. 8-year-old daughter watching. Yes, we'll do a kid card there. So we've got 2 in a row, 8-year-old daughter. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry, it's so good to see your name pop up. I've got fairies or something tickling my nose. I can't stop scratching my nose. Apologies for that. I know it's probably very unsightly. We've got a couple of kids cards now, so that's fabulous. Sorry's watching on my page. Michelle R. Price, the light worker. Whoa, flipped out everywhere. All right, Yvette, Gobby, man I'm talking to. What is going on with the man I'm talking to? Now, keep posting and keep reposting if you like, if you want to get my attention. Crystal, hello. Sunny sent some stars. Thank you, Sunny. I have read for Sunny. Moving or not? Oh, Sunny. Yeah, beautiful. I just saw your name and I saw the stars. Sunny, I'll ask around moving or not. Hey, let's have a look at that. Moving or not. Let's see. Let's see. Beautiful. All right, good question. Yvette, just going to come to you. The man I'm talking to, what's going on there? So let me just come into energy for a sec. Yvette, the first thing I feel with this, it does feel a little like crossed wires or something for me. So whether we're not sort of meeting face to face and there's some sort of confusion, but it feels like crossed wires or something. So it could be, you know, we're in writing or, you know, that sort of thing. But yeah, crossed wires is what I want to say first. I do feel potential. There does feel like potential, but crossed wires is coming up. What else do I need to know before I deal? Now, there is something around relationship, coming out of relationship. So either that's a little bit of baggage, you know, not long out of a relationship, but it does feel like something like that, coming out of a relationship. It feels like time span is coming up as well. So it's like maybe giving it some more time. I feel like there's still a little bit of healing happening there, but it's like something about coming out of a relationship and maybe some healing. So time span, may have to be patient. May have to be patient. Now let me have a look at these. They could completely disagree with me, but I just want to see if we are on track. Oh, that's strong. All right, one is upside down at the moment. Yeah, okay, good. Oh, it's positive. It's positive. Now, there is a little bit of work to be done here, and it's around self-love and self-worth. And you'll see in a moment what I'm talking about there. So that's the angel of self-worth. We've also got self-love here. So what this is actually teaching me, this is passed into now, is that I need to value myself more highly. Now, that's passed into now. So that would indicate that I'm learning that I'm already working through that. But it's valuing myself more. Okay, so it's about stepping up, learning that, and I feel like you're doing that. Now, this is nice in the present, but that one's upside down. So I feel like there's just some doubts, and it really is just with you. So that's someone I love or you love is thinking of you fondly. So it does feel like that, person is, thinking about you, but that is upside down. So that feels like I don't have entire belief in that, or I doubt it in some way. So just having a feel about that. That could be about receiving for you, feeling deserving of receiving this great relationship, that sort of thing. Now, looking forward, it is self-love again. So self-love. Now, this is something, soul love is something that you guys can learn together, if you choose to move forward. Keep in mind that crossed wires thing that I was talking about. It's not the end of the world, but it does feel like maybe my messages sometimes aren't fully understood or something like that, fully heard. But soul love, is healing at a very deep level. So the two of you could be doing that together, healing each other. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. And we're also letting go of the understanding. It's the understanding that nothing, no one can hurt us unless we allow it. There has to be permission. So whatever's come before, it doesn't affect me in the here and now. So I feel like I want to let go of what's come before, and it could be around that relationship that I was picking up on. There's a bit more healing to be done and letting go of that as well before we can move forward. That's a nice card, and that shows me that, he's thinking about you, but we do have to be a bit more open to receiving, a little bit more work. All right, so Yvette, that is you done. Now, Kerry, I'm going to come to mediumship now, and then I'm going to jump back into some more readings. Here's my butterflies. So I use butterflies when I'm connecting online in this forum. And so I've got Kerry, Ainsley, Mandy, and Tracy who wanted some mediumship tonight. So I won't be probably doing any more mediumship, but if you have any other inquiries, I've still got room on my little piece of paper here. B. Oh, you've caught my attention, hon. You've caught my attention. B. Reese. Don't go anywhere. I'll put you on my list. Heartbroken. Okay, so I'm just going to come to you because I feel like you really need it. Now, sometimes Spirit will draw me to the people who I feel, really need it. Not that everyone doesn't, but certain people I'm really drawn to, and just copy and paste if I haven't come to you. All right, Anna, hello. Jackie, Sarah, health, Joe. Replying to Joe McCart Health. All right, good. Mediumship. Now, Nikki, I won't do any more mediumship tonight, but if there's anything else you're after, let me know. More than happy to have a look at that. Relationships, health, healing, career. I've got my kids' cards, any of the above. I do a lot of business readings one-on-one, and also do past lives one-on-one as well. So if you like to do past lives, delving into that, I do that as well. All right, so Kerry Page, mum birthday. Oh, I've got goosebumps, Kerry. Hang on, let me just come over here. And yes, I'll draw some cards as well. So Kerry Page, mum. Just going to change that music because it's a little bit funny. You've got some sort of weird bubbling brook going on in the background. Let me just put this on something normal. All right, that's better. A bit distracting in the background. Definitely feeling spirit energy. So just going to come over here to Kerry's mum. Okay. Kerry, what I want to say, one is leave the light on, and it feels like visiting for me. So it feels like moth to a flame kind of visiting. It's like leave the light on so I can come. It feels like that, on the front veranda, leave the light on, I'll be home soon. It's that sort of feeling for me. Leave the light on, yeah. There was another thing in there I was just about to say, and I've just lost my train of thought. Let me go back there. Yeah, it definitely feels visiting. It feels like coming and going, Kerry. So I feel like coming and going. There's something else, though. What was the other thing? Just take me back there. Oops. that was it. It's feeling like opening up more awareness with you. So opening up, whether it's, you know, from losing, you know, your mum or something like that, but it feels like opening up more awareness. It's like, oh, this is possible. This is possible. So I feel like opening up, and that's spiritually. Yep. So much potential in you, and I want you to understand that or hear that, is so much potential in you for growth, you know, further development, stuff like that. Now, there is a reference to a key, and it does feel along those lines of leave the light on, because I'm like walking up to a house and there's like a porch and that sort of thing, like a veranda. So it feels like a key for me. So sometimes that can relate to buying a house, you know, selling a house. It could be that sort of thing. It could be an estate. But it feels like that for me. I'm seeing the key as well, and it's leave the light on. So I've got like a veranda. Dreams, hun, dreams. So noticing your dreams, because it does feel like visitations for me. So noticing your dreams, you know, when you dream of mum, it's real. So when you feel like she comes in and you're like, oh, I can really feel her energy, trust that, because it's real. It's a real thing. She's telling me dreams, yeah? So visitations, dreams, very, very important. Now, past into now, parental care can indicate looking after a parent if they're unwell, that sort of thing. So whether or not you looked after mum, but it is upside down. So there's a little bit of, I guess, grieving, a bit of work through grieving, letting go of, that sort of thing for me. Parental care. So that's taken care of, but it is upside down. It's a little bit more work to be done with, you know, letting go, processing what's happened, that sort of thing. So that's upside down. Moving, I was talking about the key. It's amazing. So the key, you know, can be buying a house, you know, selling, that sort of thing, but it does, moving is moving. So I'm seeing the key. So if you're trying to, I was about to start taking notes. If you're trying to do that, that's in the present. So I feel like that's really, really good. So I'm seeing the key, which is indicating moving. Thank you, Mum. Now be true to you, upside down as well. And that's being authentic, being okay with who you are, and not making any apologies for that. But it is upside down, and I feel like there's a bit more of work to be done here as well with you believing that you're enough. So really doing work around self-love, self-confidence, being okay with, you know, this is who I am, putting myself out there. So being true to you, and then relationship dynamics is on the bottom as well. So we do need to look at that, you know, relationships that are supportive, relationships that aren't so supportive. It's a real assessment. It's a reassessment of that for me with you. So maybe letting go the friendships that aren't serving me, and really finding my tribe, and really being clear about that, cementing that in. So Kerry, hopefully that makes sense for you. But I'm definitely seeing something around that, because that's the key relating to the house. So have a look at that at the moment, whether that relates or not. Hopefully it does. But thank you for asking the question and allowing me to talk to your mum. Wow, Kurt, that's amazing. Kurt says he has hundreds after awakening, hundreds of past lives. That is incredible. Incredible. Oh, beautiful. Sarah, you've drawn my attention. Sarah, Sobe Orman. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Sarah... Don't go anywhere, Sobe Orman. I love that you use caps. Any guidance? All right, so I'm just going to put down guidance. So Sarah, you're on my list. If I've said your name, please stick around, because I like to get feedback. All right, Ainsley, coming to Nan. I'm just going to see what we need to know here. Ainsley, and Nan. So I'm just going to have a look over here. Ainsley, what I want to say, and this is about you though, but it's, you know, coming from over here, but it's very sensitive at the moment. So just notice being triggered, you know, sensitivity, very sensitive. And I feel like wearing my heart on my sleeve, and I feel like I can get my feelings hurt pretty easily, but I don't always let it show. But I feel like sensitive, just be aware of that, easily triggered, yeah. Now, what Nan's talking about is the shows, the programs, and it's like watching the end of, and it feels like, you know, before I passed, kind of sitting in my room, and I've got certain programs, you know, that I like to catch, you know, certain things I like to watch. So it feels like that for me is like programs. Programs is like an older fashioned word, but I feel like that. There's also a reference to kind of health deteriorating. So sometimes when someone passes, you know, suddenly it's a slightly different feeling. It can feel like that to me. But health deteriorating is more of a gradual thing usually. So gradually, you know, going downhill, that sort of feeling. There's also something about being caught by surprise here as well. So whether there was like a illness that was sort of all of a sudden diagnosed or something like that, but it feels like caught by surprise, whether it sort of snuck up on me in some way. It's kind of two different meanings, health deteriorating and then caught by surprise as well. So there's something about that, a surprise. So I'm just going to draw some cards here. I'm a little bit achy at the moment as well. I'm just trying to sit more upright. And that won't be me. That's just achy. So I feel achy all through my back, whether my posture wasn't super good or something like that. But I've got a few aches through my back at the moment. So let's just see what cards Nan wants to draw. Now, these are being drawn by your family, your spirit family, not by me. So I'm just doing this intuitively and allowing them to sort of draw through me. I want to spend time in the garden as well. So I feel like I'm out in the garden, you know, enjoying the flowers, you know, that sort of thing. But spending time in the garden. So the butterflies are really good for that. Really, really good. All right. So there's a couple of things that are making sense. This is very, very closely related, a couple of these. Finances is passed into now. So assistance with, you know, that improving, that's passed into now. Finances. Sentimental feelings is upside down. So that's sometimes around not wanting to think about, you know, it's a bit painful, you know, that sort of thing, you know, connected to a particular person, loved one. So sentimental feelings, and that one's upside down. It's got the little daisies on it. Don't forget the garden reference as well. Now, get some rest and exercise, both coming out. So getting some rest is recharging, you know, refilling, charging it with battery. An exercise program is moving your body, you know, moving your body around. So let me just see what the overall message is with those cards. Ainsley, and then I'm coming to Mandy. What do we need to know about that one? Oh, that's funny. I'm being told here that chocolate makes you happy. Now, I don't know if this is a great dietary advice I'm giving you, but chocolate makes you happy. It feels like happy. And I guess it's the, you know, the sugar and the other ingredients, the cacao part of that, or cocoa, you know, triggers certain endorphins, and it feels like chocolate makes you happy. So don't know if it's great for your teeth. However, take that as you will. And it's, yes. Beautiful, beautiful message. I love that. Ainsley, beautiful. Thank you so much for allowing me to chat to your Nan. Mandy Pickering, husband's best friend or grandma. Now, let's see. They'll indicate on different sides of my body, so left or right. So I'll see, Mandy, who we have, husband's best friend or grandma. Now, it is feeling a little bit more like husband's best friend. And what I want to say is the thinker, the intellect, it feels like all up here. So a real thinker, sort of intellect, it's like a lot of thought going on, pondering, that sort of thing. It's all up in here for me, all up in my head. It also feels like time passing, like that for me. Sometimes that can indicate, a bit of time passing, time passing between drinks, that sort of thing. But it does feel like an awareness of time. Now, spirit doesn't generally have an awareness of time over here, but that can also be relating to, coming up to the anniversary of my passing, a few different things, but time passing is what I want to say. What I want to say, and this is to your hubby, is have one for me, mate, and it feels like a drink. Have a drink for me. It feels like that, celebrate my life is what I want to say. But it's also thinking about, the head reference isn't just for this person. It's also just thinking about remembering, that sort of thing, on my memory. Yeah, so almost leaving a legacy, but remembering. I also want to say it gets easier, and this is to hubby, the longer, time goes by, the easier it gets, it's not as painful. It feels like reference to that. So I'm going to draw some cards and see what we need to see here. There's also, funny bone. Is that the funny bone? Crook on my elbow. It also feels like a bit of it's humor. It feels like elbowing in the ribs, like that sort of thing, tickling my funny bone, but it feels like a sense of humor. I feel like I like to have a laugh, with hubby, but it's sense of humor. It's like elbowing in the ribs, yeah? Yeah, it's like quite a funny sense of humor relating to each other in that way. Now, bottom of the deck is body changes. So that's an awareness of, as we get older, metabolism slows down, that sort of thing. So body changes is that one. Seeking and finding it can be, with losing someone, it makes us ask the questions. Sometimes when you have someone cross over to the other side, we want to know more about spirituality. What does it mean? What happens after death, after we pass? So it feels a little bit like that for me, opening up to spirituality. This is more kind of for me, a little bit around hubby, and what, his passing over here has done. Opened up, and courage is moving forward. So one foot in front of the other, have a drink for me. But courage is moving forward. So having the courage to put one foot in front of the other and just keep going, moving forward. Now, retirement is here as well. So that did come up the other day, and it was a lady always saying, I'm going to win the lotto and retire. I'm going to win the lotto and retire. Now, this does feel a little on those lines, but I'm going to help you out. So it feels financially, ideas, that sort of thing dropping in. So just notice with hubby, when he has those good ideas dropping in, because I feel like there's going to be some assistance over here with that. So early retirement is on the cards, literally. So Mandy, hopefully that makes sense. That was hubby's best friend. Tracy Thompson, daughter Kimberly. So just going to come to Tracy and her daughter. So let's just have a look there. Kimberly, oh gosh, oh that sucks. Kimberly, I'll see how I go. I've got a few people on my list, but I'd love to, gosh, that really sucks. I think it's like an eczema or something. I'll do my best to get to you, hon. Direction for 18-year-old son. Melissa. Hello, Nikki's after relationship. Melissa, that's interesting. Melissa Davies. I will have a look at you. So Melissa Davies. And if I have skipped you, don't worry. Just keep posting. And I will do my best to come to as many people as possible. Aries, 18-year-old son. I may use the kid cards. I'm not sure yet. I know he's 18. But they can be really good for inner child and things like that. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so just going to scroll down. Thank you, Isabella. Kurt. Beautiful. Kurt, you're popping up. Yeah, I'm going to put you down on my list. Just remind me, I know you were sort of posting things about past lives and things. I won't do past lives in this forum, but I'll draw some cards for you and just see what comes up. And Tracy, going to come to Tracy at the moment. Then I'm going to get into some more general card readings. Interesting. Yeah, beautiful. And so that's really good feedback. Thanks, lovely. All right, so just going to come to one more mediumship inquiry, and then we're moving into the general card readings. Tracy Thompson, daughter Kimberly. So Tracy, let me just come over here. Tracy, as soon as I connect over here, I do feel a bit of pressure on my chest. It is a little painful. I do feel a little breathless. So, that's respiratory, I guess, cardio. But also throat space feels quite tight. That can be emotion. But I feel quite tight through my chest. Oops. Face down, face down. Yeah. There's also something coming up around direction, change of direction, sense of direction. It could be a little kind of inside joke, sense of direction, change of direction, sense of direction. It feels like kind of like no sense of direction or something like that. So it could be a little joke, getting lost, that sort of thing, but sense of direction. Clarity, yeah, clarity. So things starting to make sense. It can be, yeah, it does feel a little bit like, when you have a sudden shock or something, nothing's kind of clear. But I do feel like clarity is returning. I also feel there's something around programs, that sort of thing, and not programs as in TV channels, but about furthering your knowledge, doing some study, that sort of thing. It feels like programs for me. Also feeling of finding inner peace, so returning to that, that state where I just feel completely at peace. It's hard when we've lost a child especially to return to that, but it feels like inner sanctum and finding that peace again. Now, it feels like my bedroom. It feels like shutting the door, bedroom, no one annoying me. It feels like that for me, locking myself away a little bit too. I do still feel heartbroken, as you would expect. I do feel heartbroken, yeah. There is some forgiveness and letting go and acceptance. So forgiveness for me is acceptance, letting go. It does feel like a bit of forgiveness, letting go, acceptance of what's happened, that sort of thing. So forgiveness is really important. All right, so, ooh, that's really interesting because changing your mind kind of comes up for me around direction, you know, changing direction, changing your mind. It feels a little along those lines. So that might have been what she was referring to, as opposed to not a great sense of direction, but changing your mind. That feels like that was just confirmation of what I was just talking about. That one's upside down, so a little bit of work with regard to that. You're stronger than you know is in the present. We can get through anything, you know, nothing is too difficult. The universe doesn't give us anything more than we can handle. So you're stronger than you know, just remembering that, keeping that in mind, really important. Bottom of the deck is forgiveness. How good's that for confirmation? How good's that? Your daughter is amazing, amazing. Forgiveness. There is some letting go, moving forward, acceptance of what's happened. We can't fix or change. Moving forward, it's the only way to move forward, you know, untethering yourself. And that's really amazing confirmation, because that's what she was talking about. Support is also leaning on others, you know, delegation, but also asking, you know, asking for help. I'm not really coping. I need to talk to someone, that sort of thing. But leaning on others is what I want to say. So, Tracy, you've been through a lot, yeah? And I really feel that. I really feel that for you. I hope you're okay. And I hope that brought you some sense of connection to your beautiful child. Okay, now I'm going to move on. Relationships, love. Relationships, love. Chloe, just going to come to you. And then Jules, Sari. We're doing a couple of child readings, kid card readings. Sunny after that. B, Sarah, Melissa, and Kurt. So if there's anything specific, let me know for some of these guys. Oh, Jennifer, yes, I've just seen you pop up. Beautiful. Thank you for asking the question, hon. I'll do my best to get to you. I've got a few people written down. Jennifer, thank you, my love, for messaging. So glad that you could tune in. Hernia. Now, I will ask around that for you. I've got my crystal deck here, which is good for health and healing and stuff like that. Make sure my pains are still not related to the mesh. So that's what we want to know there. All right, lovely. I will, I'll put you down. I'll do my best to get to you. Okay, so Chloe Jarman. Beautiful. Right. Okay, good. Excellent. Oh, Wendy, you got the storms. Yeah, I feel like something's building here, love. It is feeling quite humid at the moment. Excellent. All right, so just going to come to some cards. So keep posting, you know, what you're after, that sort of thing. And if you want to book one-on-ones, there's a link in this post and you can click on that and click book now. Also like my page, because I do the Jennifer. Oh my God, 111. That's amazing. She's just saying it's 111 where she is in the morning. It's 7:11 here. Oh my gosh, love that. So Chloe, just going to come there. But if you want to book one-on-ones or anything like that, there's a link in this post. And I do readings, healings, all of the above. I also teach Reiki, and I'm a pranic energy healer as well. Chloe, relationships and love. Let me just come into Chloe's energy. Chloe, you're very generous, very kind. Kind and generous, very good. Very generous, very open. Now, what I want you to make sure of, Chloe, is that you are not giving more than you're receiving. It does feel a little bit out there for me, putting my energy out. But I feel like, you know, being open to receiving is really important with this person that's coming in, because I feel like I'm putting myself out there probably more than I'm receiving. So giving more, yeah. So I want to balance that out a little bit more. That's a bit about feminine, coming into feminine energy. It's receiving. If you want to do that, water, really great. Immersing yourself in, cleansing, drinking more. Water is a feminine element in the body. So really important to nurture that in you. All right, so what are we looking at here? Wow, this is amazing. These are really good. Channeling is past into now. Now that is where you're talking to someone and you're saying things and you're like, don't know how I know this, but you got a bit of a gift, hon. Bit of a gift that's passed into now. So trust that, because you can channel answers. You know, can channel answers to who is this coming? Who am I bringing in? So channeling is literally that, yeah. And sometimes we say, I don't know how I know this, but divine timing in the present. So it's the right time, yeah. So that's you being open to receiving. See how she's opening her arms up to receiving. So I feel like there's a little bit more fine tuning. It's not the end of the world, but a bit of fine tuning around, feeling deserving of, because I feel like you're very, very generous. So we need to take back as well. And here we are looking ahead, fertility. It's there. So fertility can be baby's conception, pregnancy, that sort of thing. But that's also the relationship there. You and your fabulous partner looking very, very happy together. So moving forward, that's what we're looking at. Let me just get an overall message for you, Chloe. And I'll just touch the relationship card and see what we need to know there. Chloe, what I want to say is, It's like taking the blinkers off, and I feel like expanding my vision and looking a bit further afield. So maybe looking in areas that I haven't looked before. Not suggesting you're going out and it's hard work and you're looking, but it's like I feel like expanding my vision. So if I'm saying, no, I'm definitely never doing speed dating, I'm definitely not doing this, or I'm definitely not doing that, ruling things out, I feel like I'd be a bit more open and expanding my vision. Really important. But this is feeling really strong, really stable for me. But, you know, blinkers off, expanding my vision a little bit more. Chloe, hopefully that makes sense. Jules, we're doing a couple of children's cards now. Now, I do have a couple of decks for those of you who are watching and haven't seen me before. Children's wellbeing cards are there. They are constructed by a doctor. Actually, both of these are put together by doctors. Maxine Therese. She publishes through Rockpool if you ever want to get your own set of these. And the other ones are children's spirit animals, also developed by a doctor. And they're really cute too. So I'm going to use the spirit animals ones first, I think. Upset Little Man. Actually, no, well-being. Let's do well-being for that. What's drawn to spirit animal? Let me go back to spirit animal. All right, Jules, CJ, upset little man at the moment. So these are the spirit animal cards. Let me just come into your household there and feel into what we need to know. Jules, I do feel with your little man, I'm quite up in my head. It feels like up here. Not so much connecting to feeling, and it's up here in my head. So whether I'm just thinking about things, processing or something like that, but I feel like I'm up in my head. Now, underneath this, and I'm not sure where this is coming from, but hopefully you'll understand this. There's a bit of rejection coming up. So rejection that can also trigger like abandonment, things like that. So rejection is where you reach out and someone says, "Don't want to be your friend," or you know, a parent walks away, something like that. But rejection is coming up for me. It feels like, yeah, it's like reaching out, rejected, reaching out, reject. It feels like that for me. So that is quite triggering, and that can be quite triggering as we get older as well. So it could be a friendship, could be a parent, could be an elder, but it feels like reaching out, rejected. Pushback is what I want to say as well. Now, let me draw some cards and I'll see what they show me. I'm also being told is almost discombobulated, which is sort of an overload. Discombobulated, it's a funny word. But it feels like an overload, like it's too much or something like that. And then you just kind of go, I've got a, you know, it's like a pressure cooker. You know, it's like overflowing. So I almost feel like what we want to do is get this happening. That's number one, hummingbird. Now that's root chakra, and that is looking at the positives, so the optimism. So, you know, if it is a friendship or, you know, some connection in that way, there's always going to be new friendships. There's always going to be something else, you know, that's coming my way. There'll be other people, you know, that come in. So sort of healing it in that way, but it's with the security, safety, and that's at the root chakra level. So when that's out of whack, things can be a bit tricky. So really working at it from that level. We can also have, you know, a few blow-ups if that's the area that's out of whack. Now, in the present, it's surprising others with favors, and that means doing nice things for others, and that's solar plexus, so that's our yang center, so the doing. So doing things for others, nice favors, you know, surprise, you know, breakfast in bed, whatever it is for you will be nice. But it's surprising others, doing nice things for others makes me feel better. So that's really good. And the fox is very sly, hiding behind that tree there, poking his head out. Now, asking for what you want is communicating. So there is a little bit here of sitting in my head at the moment. I'm not speaking. I'm not saying what I need to say. So asking for what you want is being okay with that. You know, this is throat space. These are all broken up into chakras in the body. So throat space is speaking up. You know, the lion is very bold, very courageous, great strength. So being like the lion. And, you know, the lion doesn't hold back. The lion's, you know, the king of the jungle. Yeah. So speaking up, telling people what you need, what you want, what you're going through, it is important to speak up, you know. And doing the right thing is knowing the difference between right and wrong. So when we act out, you know, if we are sort of, you know, acting out, or we're not ourselves, you know, a bit down in the dumps, we know the difference between right and wrong. And it's about being a bit more optimistic. Yeah, raising those vibrations. So doing fun stuff together as a family, but looking on the bright side. Yeah, it's really important. Okay, so Jules, Sari, 8-year-old daughter's watching. Sari, I may come to children's wellbeing with Sari. Let me just come over here. Wow, wait, 4:12 in the morning. Gosh, you guys are up late or early, one of the two. Beautiful, Wendy. I love you. Great sense of humor. Great sense of humor. Fabulous. Now, sorry, 8-year-old daughter. Oh, hi, Bree. How's it going? Shazza, hello. Tanya, just having a look around. Heather Barber. Tumor removed. Wow, that's hard. That is hard. I'll see if I can get to you, Diane. I may not, and I'm not going to make any promises, but I'll pop you down because it is getting a little late and I'm looking at the time. But that is something. That is something. Tumor. Wow, I'll do my best. If I can get to you, I will do that. But Sari, at the moment, I'm doing 8-year-old daughter. So what do we need to know about Sari's 8-year-old daughter? Then we're coming to Sunny, B, Sarah, Melissa, Kurt, and then Jennifer and Diane, if I can get to you guys. So I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Sari, 8-year-old daughter. I did come on a little bit later tonight, so I'll sneak in a bit later. Sari, 8-year-old daughter. What do I need to know there? Sorry, seeing the solar plexus in your 8-year-old daughter quite activated and also sacral, it feels quite creative for me in her energy. So solar plexus and sacral are interesting. Solar plexus is kind of the doing center. Sacral is the creating, new ideas, new projects, what can we work on, that sort of thing. She feels very creative, putting things down, on paper. Like I feel like exciting. And sometimes it's like seeing it before it goes down on paper as well, actually creating it, what's in my vision. This is good. This is all perfect. Exactly what we're talking about. Now, that's connecting into crown chakra. So I'm brilliant. Divine energy is in and around me. So that little golden ball, similar to the card that I saw before, that reminds me very much of the solar plexus, and that's the yang center. So sometimes I describe that as your own little sun, but that's a very bright, aware child, crown space. So divine energy, and that's an understanding. Sometimes kids, and they say profound things, they come out and they're like, wow, how did that come out of your mouth? It's incredible. So you're an old soul. Mummy can explain what that means, but you're an old soul. It's been around a few times, but very worldly. Now, this is the center that I was talking about. So sacral, solar plexus. So motivation is there. Very, very motivated, and that's fabulous. And that's trusting your intuition, but in the present, there's a little bit of sacral energy in there as well. And that's a creation. Creation, new ideas, new projects. Moving forward, it's root chakra. And trusting, that's listening to your body. So if your tummy's feeling a bit off, being aware of that, talking to mummy about that. But moving forward, it's like really seeing yourself well. Sometimes grown-ups, I tell them that it's important to see yourself fully healed. If people are sick, it's good to see yourself fully healed. So with you, it's like seeing myself well, healthy, be able to play with my friends, all that sort of stuff. And it's listening to your body though. If you feel a little bit off, talking about that. Now, this is all heart space. So I'm loving and I love connecting with myself and others. So a nice little friendship there. So it's not showing me totally solitary. It's showing me that you like to connect to other people. Very loving little girl. So hopefully that makes sense for Sari's 8-year-old daughter. A good little kid there. And we've got that solar plexus there, which is great. Sunny, I'm going to come to you for moving. Now I'll pop the kids' cards over here. Moving, I'll use Goddess Guidance. So these are my Doreen Virtues. They're great for moving. There is a house card in here. So Sunny, let me have a look. Moving or not? It's a very easy question. So hopefully we'll get an easy answer. Moving or not? Moving or not? Then I'm going to come to B, who's feeling heartbroken. So Sunny, what do we need to know about moving or not? Moving or not? Sunny does feel a little, what's the word? A little bit nervous in your energy about this. It's a bit of anticipation. Moving or not? What do we need to know? Do you feel a little nervous, a bit of nervous anticipation? It's kind of unsettling for me, the prospect of moving. I know moving is not fun for anyone, but it is a little unsettling. Got to be honest. I don't feel like I want to. It does feel a bit unsettling, but let me see what the cards show me, hey? Now, what I want to say is it's around water, and I feel like living around, being close to the water is really important. That can be coastal, it can be living in the hinterland near a stream, but water. I feel like I want to have water near me, so that's really important. So there will be a move eventually. We will move. Oh, look at this. Wow, well, you talk about water. Bright future, stop worrying, everything is working out fine. Now you can see in the background there, she's standing in the water. And that's what I'm seeing. So I feel like either coastal or being around, you know, rivers, streams, creeks, that sort of thing, but the water is really important for you. So make sure wherever we are that we're near the water, okay? Now, water again, purification is a bit of a detox. So I do feel a bit unsettled. I don't feel like a move right this second. But if we can be near the water, if we are at the moment, fantastic. If we can be near the water moving forward, brilliant. But purification is a bit of a detox. So I feel like that's sort of the focus at the moment. Detox, purification can be about letting go of things, you know, that don't serve you anymore. It can be letting go of a house, you know, making a conscious effort to let go of that so that we can move forward. Bright future is positive. Now, this is a bit about a move. So moving forward, there is a move. It doesn't feel like right now because this is future. So moving forward, this can be 6 to 12 months. But sacred space is creating an area in your home where you can meditate, relax, do yoga, you know, have your candles, crystals, whatever that looks like, but sacred space. So definitely moving. Prosperity is there as well. So that obviously helps. That's the gold, prosperity, abundance, all of that sort of stuff. So yes, there is a move, but it doesn't feel like it's happening at this minute because that's in the future, yeah, future card. So sacred space, once you get in there, but we have to have water because that is amazing confirmation, hey, of the water being surrounded by that. Now, B, you're heartbroken. Let me just figure out what's going on with your heartbreak. Whispers of healing. I'm going to do whispers of healing for B. That's those ones. They're gorgeous. I posted about them on my page, Michelle R. Price, the light worker. Now, if you do want to connect one-on-one, readings, healings, I do reading healing combo. I'm a medium, connecting to spirit if you've only just tuned in. So I do all of the above, readings, healings rather. So yes, more than happy to connect one-on-one. They're cute, aren't they? Sorry, thank you. Yes, they are beautiful, Jennifer. B, heartbroken. Let me just have a look at B. I want to get through as many people as I can without yapping. B, heartbroken. There's a choice that's passed into now. That's just flown out of the deck. We have to make choices, decisions, but that is passed into now, indicating we've already had to do that. Yeah. So in the past. Now, 9 and 3. Is 12, so that's 3, adding up to 3, which is great strength and courage for me. It always indicates strength. It's the triangle, it's the Holy Trinity, all of that sort of stuff. So strength for you passed into now. Let me just have a look at what else we need to know about your heartbreak. B, I also want to say I'm sort of reliving a lot of things at the moment, and you just have to go through the process. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but we do have to go through the process, and we are still reliving some things, you know, going back over things. Could I've done this differently, that sort of thing. So just knowing that, I can feel that in your energy. A lot in my head. I'm sitting up in my head. It's very sore in my head, and I feel like a lot of this. Now, what might be useful for you is to write down everything and burn it, freeze it, put everything down. Around the full moon time is really good for doing that, releasing and clearing. But I feel like that will be useful because it's all up in my head. Even a God box, you know, putting the stuff down into a shoebox, writing it down, putting it in a shoebox, putting the lid on it and putting it away. That's a God box, and that feels like I could get that out of my head as well, and that feels like that would be a good thing to do. Now, I'm just going to draw another couple of cards and just see what else I need to mention to you. Time heals all wounds, yeah, so time passing, that sort of thing. It's going to feel different. Yeah, okay, good. Now, forward movement, hooray, that's in the present. So that's sort of what I'm talking about, you know. At the moment, I feel like I'm reliving, going over, that sort of thing. I feel like what we want to do is start to move out of this. You know, we only hold ourselves in this energy as long as we choose to. It's a choice. So I feel like putting everything down, you know, burn it, putting it in a shoebox, you know, God box, that sort of thing. But we want to start to move forward with you. So that's a very magical card. Now, well-being is health. So looking at how you're feeling physically, really relying on that, trusting that, noticing your body's rhythms and cycles, sleeping when you need to sleep, eat when you need to sleep, but really noticing your health moving forward because this can take a toll. So really being aware of that physically. How am I feeling? And making adjustments if need be. But really noticing, yeah, well-being, really important. Okay, now Sarah Sorb Omen is after some guidance. So let me look at guidance. I'll look at angel therapy for Sarah. All right, face down, good. All right, Sarah Sorb Omen, guidance, just going to come to Sarah's energy. Then I'm looking at Melissa, Kurt, and Jennifer, hopefully if we can get there, and Diane if we can get there as well. But maybe not, I'm just looking at the time. We'll see, we'll see. Thank you everyone for staying online and watching tonight on this Monday. Readings, healings is my gig. I'm a medium as well. So one-on-one, I do a lot of that sort of thing. I also do businesses, past lives, you know, all that sort of stuff. All right, Sarah, so Orman, general guidance. Just going to see what comes out for Sarah. Sarah, I'm quite energized in your energy. I feel like it's quite active in your solar plexus again. So yang, I've been feeling a bit of that tonight, motivation. So I feel like I just want to get in and do it. And it does feel a bit like frustration, that I've come out of frustration. Maybe I've been prevented from moving forward, something like that. Could have been from COVID, who knows? But it does feel like there's some anticipation with wanting to move forward. Now, this is interesting. Shield yourself is number 1. So protecting yourself from others' energies, that can be an empath. Usually that comes up when you're an empath, picking up other people's energies. It's not helpful for me. So protecting yourself from others, especially if they're bringing your vibration down. You want to keep your vibration high, and you'll see why in a minute. Now that is keeping your vibration high, singing and dancing. Now that is upside down, so I need to do more of that. So really it's about raising vibrations. So letting go of relationships, friendships, that sort of thing that aren't helpful and healthy for you. Cutting cords, cutting ties, and now that's more of that. Singing and dancing is upside down, so we need to do more of that, raising vibrations. Moving forward, it's taking part in that. So that's learning. It can also be leading those, but learning something new, having a new focus, new challenges, moving forward. So that's, taking part in, but also maybe teaching at some point as well. Goddess is connecting to inner goddess, so inner feminine, inner self, really listening to that moving forward. Now, underneath that is vacuum away fear. They want me to draw your attention to that. And that's exactly what the first card is. So really reiterating that. So really rethinking relationships and friendships I've got around at the moment, moving forward. Melissa Davies, Aries. Just going to have a look at you. 18-year-old sun. Now, do I want to use 18-year-old sun? Do I want to use the fairy cards? Fairies? Yeah. All right. Let me just come to fairies for Melissa. And then we're going to have a look at Kurt and hopefully Jennifer, if I can get there before I get kicked off. All right. Yes. Diane, I've got you on my list, and hopefully I'll be able to get to you. I'm just going to scroll back down to the bottom. And we've got a troll. So just bear with me, guys. I know this is going to take a sec. Now, if you are trolling, if you are trying to message people, just know that I will ban you. So I will ban anyone who does that. So spamming people is not acceptable on this page. And I have just blocked that person. Okay, tons of pain, lower back, shoulders, feet, healing cards, would love. All right, Kurt, I've got you down next. Melissa Davies, Aries, 18-year-old sun. Now, Melissa, there's a little bit of this going on at the moment, and that is the emotional healing of this sun, 18-year-old. So we're going through some stuff that's passed into now, doing some healing in that area. So something usually triggers that. It can be breakups, anything like that, losing a job, but it's emotional healing that I'm going through. So a little bit of healing happening there, the 18-year-old sun. Let me see what else. Now, I do feel like with the sun as well, it's a bit of thinking ahead, which is interesting. That's good. Thinking forward. What do I want to do with the rest of my life? But it's thinking ahead for me as well. I feel like with you wanting to sort of help and heal and do all of that stuff, but there's only so much we can do. We can definitely guide, but I feel strongly from you wanting to sort of help and heal, get him through. But there's only so much we can do with regard to that, of course. Now, let me have a look at these. These are the fairies. So these are children, animals, health and healing. So I just want to see what comes out. Okay, interesting. Goodbye to the old, hello to the new. Similar to what I was saying to the last lady, that's, leaving friendships, relationships that don't serve me anymore and welcoming something new. So you got to close a door to open a door. So a really big one there. That's in the present. So that is closing a door, opening a new door, letting go of what no longer serves you. Affirmations are really important. That's building our confidence back up, building our confidence in ourselves, how we feel about ourselves. That affirmation's positive moving forward. So that's really useful. So I like life is always working out for me. The universe has my back. That sort of thing is really good. Bottom of the deck is forgiveness. So there is some forgiveness around that. So forgiveness for me is always letting go, allowing that other person to, go do their thing, me to do my thing, but it's acceptance and, forgiveness, but it's letting go essentially. So hopefully that makes sense for your 18-year-old sun. Kurt, just going to have a quick look at you, then I'm probably going to get booted off the page. But Kurt, let me have a look. So whispers of healing. They're a bit more feminine. I'm going to use crystals with you, Kurt. So just going to see what comes up with that. And just going to connect. Just making sure there's no other trolls. But yeah, if you are soliciting, then I will block you because that's not nice and people don't like that. All right. All right. So Kurt, let me just connect to your energy and see what I'm feeling. Kurt, I want to come into almost sacral with you. That's your, below navel. So below navel. So coming into sacral, that is creative energy usually, but I feel like I'm coming into that part of your body. Now, same thing as what I was saying before. I feel like I want to like push my shoulders back or something like that. But it is interesting because it's sort of lower back, and I do get aching in my lower back as well, around kidneys, that sort of thing. I feel like I want to sit upright or something. What if it's out of alignment? Kurt, it may help. I don't know whether you've heard of like bone therapy, but bone therapy is very good for putting the body back into alignment, making small adjustments. It might be worth getting something like that because I do feel like I need to sort of watch my posture. Even like yoga, I guess yoga is really good for like gentle, gentle movement, that sort of thing. Structure is what they're giving me. So I feel like structure, is a skeleton, and it just feels like out of whack for me. Oops. Oh, lots of cards flying, but they're all face down. Let me just see what the cards are showing me. There's also something referring into my head. Now, sometimes pain can refer, but it feels like referring up into my head for some reason. So whether that's causing headaches, but it feels like referring up to here. Now, something interestingly is coming up around sort of, letting go, moving forward. So whether I hold on to stuff or I'm holding on to stuff, back bends can represent moving into the future. So fear of what's coming, that sort of thing, because that's where I'm sort of feeling a lot of references. Fear of the future, the unknown, what's coming, control comes up. So that will come up around, hips and that sort of thing, the control. Now, that's interesting because protection is number one. So protection from other energies that aren't, helpful, sometimes negative, fear-based, that sort of thing, but protecting. So that can be around cord cutting. Now, in the present, it's expanded awareness. That is crown chakra, so connecting up to higher awareness. And that's your inner voice, so trusting your inner voice, over what others are saying. So in the present, trusting your intuition. So, if medical staff, doctors, if that's what you're consulting with, and they're telling you one thing, I want you to trust your inner knowing, your inner, awareness at the moment. Cycles, sometimes moonstone's quite a feminine stone, but cycles is listening to your body. So really paying attention to your body. How does it feel? Listen to what it's telling you. Bodies can give us a lot of information, but that's listening to your body's cycles, what it's telling you moving forward. And sexuality is an interesting one because I was coming down into that sort of sacral womb space, but also sexuality. So that's connecting into root chakra. So if that's out of alignment, we can have a lot of issues with, material possessions, feeling deserving of, our security, foundation, all that sort of stuff is out of whack, and that can throw everything else out of whack above that. So what it's showing me is coming down to root chakra. So getting that back into alignment, grounding, sitting on the earth, roots into the earth, that sort of thing will be useful, connecting back into that. So hopefully that makes sense. I know it's all very sort of spiritual and a bit woo-woo, but we do need to protect ourselves from others' energies because it feels like, connecting to others, it can have a real impact on us physically, holding on to their energy as well, not disconnecting, cutting cords, all that sort of stuff. Jennifer, just going to come to you quickly. I'll use crystals for Jennifer and hernia mesh. Let's just see what the answer is, and then I'll let everyone go because it is getting quite late in certain parts of the world. Lorraine, hello, my love. Lorraine and I have known each other for a very long time. Beautiful. Oh, sorry, Hayley. Yes, I am going to jump off. Apologies, I've gone quite over. Jennifer, just want to ask a question. I may not draw cards, but I just want to ask a question. Hernia, is it the mesh? What do we need to know there? Jennifer, it does feel like it's still healing, hun. And I do feel like the mesh is there. I can see the mesh, but I feel like it's still sort of healing around that. There could be some pulling, tugging, that sort of thing, potentially causing pain, but it does feel like it's healing over it. So it doesn't feel like infected or anything like that. But I am seeing the mesh and I'm seeing the flesh sort of healing around that. So there could be some pulling, tugging as that sort of adjusts and heals around it. So it feels okay. But, if you are concerned, certainly speak to medical professionals. But it just feels like it's still kind of healing and attaching to, if that makes sense. So got to go because I've got someone else trying to get on. All right, so have a great night. If I see you one-on-one during the week, I'd love that. Otherwise, I'll connect with you guys next week. Have a great night. Bye.